We know that we have an asset, which is the house or the boat or the market or whatever your asset might be, and you have to figure out, how do I monetize this? How do I make it saleable? How do I create something that people are willing to pay for? History is an abstract concept, and it's something that people think ought to be free in a lot of ways because it's information and knowledge. So how do you make it something that somebody does assign a dollar value to? You make it easy for people to pay for by giving them a ticket to something that they want to see, for example. Small towns, I think, are actually a good place for people like me to come to in an economy like this. If you have your degrees and you have, years of experience in corporate, you're looking for a new challenge. You may not necessarily want to sit in a cubicle on the 18th floor, and you may have maxed out your income potential, and you may need some more affordable housing. You may have children who need a pace that's a little bit slower than the city provides. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for young professionals, well, I'm not so young, but for professionals like myself to do something different. That's a challenge. We may have just maxed out in what we could have done in our other places. The middle has dropped out. All of these buzzwords that you hear and these buzz phrases are really real. So what do you do when you're in the middle? What do you do when your corporation downsizes? What do? You have to change your possibility for income. You've got to change your housing. You've got to, make a different amount of money, but you still have to keep working and you still have to continue to raise your family. So you have to be creative to continue on in your journey, whatever it might be. And taking a risk, like coming to a small town, is something that risk takers like myself are okay with. And then watching the opportunities grow. It's kind of fun. Something like the farmers market, we are putting people to work in that we're just testing it. We've got people setting up the market and taking down, and they're getting paid. Now, it might not be enough for them to, pay their rent, but it's some income. Now, if we think out of the box and think down the road and think to where it will grow, that's a job right there. We have people who are, baking, or people who are farming and then putting their produce together and laying it out on the table. That's a job. People who are looking at the display and having different ideas about how it might look better. That's a job. Signs and T-shirts and golf shirts. Those are jobs that are created as a result of these kinds of new projects. Oh, absolutely. And that's relevant, and that's good. It doesn't have to be hundreds and millions and thousands. Sometimes you're helping 10 people, and who's to say that that's not important?